September 2012, disaster struck across Nigeria. In Edo State alone, hundreds of thousands were displaced by a one-of-its-kind flood from places they called home. Affected families were taken from their towns and villages and put into settlement camps in order to survive. Living Your Dreams Initiative, a signature ministry of FEM Foundation, intervened in the ongoing crisis by sending a team of field workers, including the Director of Missions and Chief Responsibility Officer of the Living Your Dreams Initiative, to the settlement camps in Fugar and Ekberi.
Okay, we are still here in Fugar, one of the shelter homes where the displaced people, the victims of the flood, are being camped and housed. And we have been talking to a lot of people. We are going to be talking to the Chief Responsibility Officer, Living Your Dreams Initiative.
Well, these people were displaced from Udochi, Onama, hope I pronounced it right. The Edo State government have found a camp place for them. The reason why we are here, I'm sure that's what you're trying to see how we can get Nigerians to take care of Nigerians. The government cannot do it alone. From here, we're going to the largest camp that has more than 1,000 people. There, a woman has given birth to a set of twins, and 6 people have died from that camp. That protection is everyone's business. The reason we are here is for us to get the harsh reality and come back and tell the world, Nigerians, so that all of us can join hands to make these displaced people, give them a better life. Reason, a dysfunctional child can never transform into a functional adult. My preoccupation and the preoccupation of the organization all the time is children. So we came here to look at, assess how vulnerable the children have become and what we all can do to bring succor to them.
Udochi community, Etsako Central Local Government, Ward 10, one of the communities affected, was entirely wiped out by the flood. Udochi is an area largely characterized as a tableland located beside a river. The situation has been described as deplorable, as the only living thing in the area now are ducks. Living Your Dreams Initiative went to the settlement camps to conduct a needs assessment for the children in order to provide credible solutions to their present deplorable state. The camp in Fugar, which accommodated roughly 400 refugees from a Udochi community, had 80 children in it as at the time of this report, where our field workers carried out the OVI assessment. Getting to the camp, we were appalled at the general state of the camp. We quickly discovered that these refugees live in 5 rooms which were inadequate for them. Each room is about 24 by 25 feet large and houses approximately 60 persons each, children inclusive. As a result, more mattresses, blankets, mosquito nets, mosquito repellents, and more are needed for this camp.
My name is Charity. Tell us, when did this happen and how?
Our house, potato killer. He just spray. All my tea, he just spray for water. All my picky. She pour for water. All the pure for them. Of course, she no give us. We the sleep for all my body. They pay me.
Other sets of people missing from the camp were a large section of the men, as they went into the adjoining towns to live with their friends or relatives. This posed a great risk for the children, as there was no sufficient leadership provided for them. Our field workers, which included medical personnel, conducted a rapid assessment for the entire camp, but the results were not satisfactory. From our assessment, more water tanks, jerry cans for storing drinking water, and medicated soap, like Dettol, Tetmosol, disinfectants and more for washing and bathing are needed. In view of all these assessments, one main issue that requires immediate attention is the state of hygiene in both camps. There have been half a dozen deaths recorded so far in the 2 settlement camps visited. The government has done enough in providing drugs to the camps, but there were no provision for medical personnel to properly dispense the drugs to the refugees. To this extent, we have partnered with a doctor who runs an NGO that sends doctors and nurses to crisis zones. Likewise,
we're going to be talking to Dr. Philip. He is one of the people, sympathizers that actually come to visit the victims of the flood, and we're going to be hearing a little bit about his experience here in Fugar. Please, sir, tell us your name again, what you do, and why you're here.
Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Philip. I'm the past chairman of Nigerian Medical Association. Right now, I work with Health Support Initiative, a health non-governmental organization. We've been here since Sunday on account of reports we got about the precarious health situation in the camp. Specifically in the Quarry camp, for example, as of Sunday, 6 people had died. 6 women had put to bed, and the children, none had been vaccinated, none had been immunized, and so we're headed towards the human catastrophe. And so our NGO, partnering with the Nigerian Medical Association, they do not had to immediately intervene. And since then, we were attending to the camp, the victims who are camped here. Okay, specifically, we are covering 4 camps so far, and since Sunday, the good news is that we have not recorded any further deaths, but the challenges are enormous. Okay, one, we are happy that our members have responded in a very commendable manner. They have volunteered their services free of charge, and we see that we are bringing in clinical psychologists too, because it is not easy to be taken away from your home where you have lived for 20, 30, 40 years and be kept in a primary secondary school where all you do is that once you are fed, they have 1 or twice a day, you wait for the next meal. You cannot farm, you cannot sew, you can't do any other thing. And so the challenges are quite enormous. It has psychological and medical implications. And some of all these things, even in the adults, can lead to suicidal tendencies, they can be depression. And so we are bringing in experts who are going to come to talk to them, to look at their moods, the situation, and how to help. Okay, and even the NGO that I work for, we also have our own challenges. We are running out of medication, especially for the children, and so we are using the opportunity to also appeal to other non-governmental organizations to work with other NGOs who are on the ground to look at the specific needs. Yes, it is good to bring food items, but it's also good to do a needs assessment so that you will find out what really are the needs of these people. So I don't bring in things that are not useful, okay, for the use of victims of these camps. And so I think so far the government itself also has done well in the release of money, but as is usual with everything in Nigeria, bureaucratic bottlenecks may not allow some of all those good intentions to get to the graduate years on time. So that is why NGOs are very important now. So I want to commend you for coming around, and I think we all working together, we can help to bring smiles to the faces of these victims.
Thank you very much, sir. We really commend your effort, and we pray that God will give you the grace to continue the good work. Thank you very much. We have just heard from Dr. Philip. It is a sorry sight. You really need to come here and see for yourself. Well, we are still here at Fugar. Don't go anywhere. We'll be giving you reports.
In addition to the drugs provided, we also need a mobilization vehicle to aid the movement of medical personnel between camps. Accommodation for these medical personnel is also needed. To ascertain the vulnerability of the children in both camps, mobilization vehicles and accommodation is also needed for our Living Your Dreams initiative field workers. Upon a thorough inspection of both camps, we observed that the food sent to the camps were also insufficient. Clearly, a large number of refugees are overwhelming for just the government to handle. Essential items such as firewood and cooking utensils should be provided also. Remember, it takes a whole village to raise a child. Every child deserves the collaborative support of the entire community. In this light, proper sensitization is needed for men and women in both camps in the areas of environmental sanitation, personal hygiene, and nutrition to stop the breakout of epidemic in the camp. Join us in our campaign to improve the living standards of these communities.